Most men think they know what women secretly desire. Candlelight dinners, flowers on the bed, romantic walks at sunset. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Those are surface-level illusions. What really runs through her mind late at night is far darker, more primal, and far more dangerous than she'll ever admit. She won't write it in her journal. She won't confess it to her closest friends. She'll never whisper it to you, even if she trusts you with everything else. Because this one fantasy, this hidden dream, would change the way you see her forever. It's her forbidden desire, the aching hunger to lose control. And once you understand it, once you realize why women crave it but never admit it, you'll never look at her or at attraction the same way again. Number 1. Her forbidden dream of surrender. Every woman you've ever met carries this fantasy in silence. On the surface, she looks in control, independent, strong, capable. She manages her career, her family, her life. She says she doesn't need anyone, and she means it. She's smart, she's driven, she's disciplined. But in the privacy of her own thoughts, when no one is watching, it's not control that excites her. It's release, the forbidden dream of finally dropping the armor, the fantasy of surrendering to a man so grounded, so certain that for once, she doesn't have to think, plan, or lead. This isn't weakness, it's exhaustion. Day after day, she's calculating, deciding, managing. Her body doesn't crave more control. It craves release, the thrill of letting go, the ecstasy of being guided instead of guiding. That's why women are drawn not to the nice guys who constantly ask permission, but to men who move with quiet certainty. Men who don't flinch, men who don't hesitate. Because her fantasy, the one she'll never say out loud, isn't about roses and polite conversations. It's about a man strong enough to let her surrender. Number 2. The stronger she appears, the deeper it runs. Here's the paradox. The more powerful and independent she is in her public life, the stronger this secret fantasy becomes. The boss, the CEO, the woman who looks untouchable in the boardroom or the courtroom. She's the one most likely to ache for surrender in private. Why? Because polarity is universal. The more she lives in masculine energy, decision-making, leading, controlling, the more her body and spirit crave the opposite. Feminine energy wants to flow, to feel, to release. And she can only do that in the presence of a man strong enough to hold the frame. This is why confidence is magnetic. Not arrogance, not loud bravado, but calm, grounded certainty. A man who knows who he is without needing validation, because deep down, she doesn't want to keep leading. She wants a place to fall, a man who can carry her weight without breaking. And the truth is, most men never see this side of her. They see the polished exterior. They see the independence. But behind closed doors, when she's alone, that forbidden dream burns. Number 3. Why she'll never admit it. If every woman has this fantasy, why won't she say it out loud? Because it's dangerous, vulnerable, risky. To admit she wants to lose control feels like admitting weakness. She fears being judged, misunderstood, or worse, having it used against her. So she hides it. She plays the role of the good woman in public while secretly craving the exact opposite in private. And if she ever slips and shows you a glimpse of it, if you ever see the way her eyes soften when you take the lead, or hear the way her breath changes when you move with certainty, it will shock you how deep it goes. This is the hidden paradox of female psychology. The stronger her armor, the more she secretly longs to have it removed. Number 4. The psychology behind the fantasy. So why does this desire run so deep? It comes down to polarity, masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy is about direction, clarity, certainty. Feminine energy is about flow, emotion, and surrender. Attraction isn't built on sameness, it's built on contrast, on opposites. When a man embodies steady, unshakable presence, the feminine instinctively responds by softening, opening, and letting go. It's not about dominance. It's not about control for its own sake. It's about balance. It's about her body finally being allowed to rest. This is why men who hesitate, over-explain, or seek constant reassurance never awaken this side of her. They inspire caution, not surrender. They feel like another responsibility, not a release. But the man who moves with calm authority, who doesn't need to prove himself, who doesn't flinch, that's the man who triggers her forbidden dream. Because on a subconscious level, she knows he can handle me. Number 5. A glimpse of the fantasy in action. Picture this. You're at dinner. She's in control of the conversation, witty, confident. Everyone is laughing. She's commanding the room. But then you lean closer, lower your voice, and say with calm certainty, "We're leaving in 5 minutes. You're coming with me." You don't explain. You don't ask. You don't beg. You state it with presence. Outwardly, she might smirk, tease, roll her eyes. But inside, she's trembling because in that moment, you pulled her out of her head and back into her body. You awaken the exact fantasy she hides from the world, the thrill of being guided, claimed, unable to resist. And here's the dangerous part. Once she feels this, she'll never look at you the same way again. Every other man will feel weaker by comparison, because you touch the side of her she keeps buried from everyone else. Number 6. The dark paradox of desire. Now, here's the kicker. She'll never tell you this. She'll deny it if you ask. She'll insist she wants romance, flowers, patience, and in public she does. That's the safe story, the socially acceptable mask. But the fantasy that keeps her awake at night isn't safe. It's not gentle. It's not about balance and equality. It's about polarity, surrender, and the intoxicating relief of finally not being in control. This doesn't make her weak. It doesn't make her less independent. In fact, the stronger she is outside, the stronger this desire becomes inside. Because every woman, no matter how powerful, longs for the rare moment when she can finally let go. When she doesn't have to think, plan, or lead. When she can dissolve into raw, primal desire. Number 7. Why most men will never see it. Most men will never touch this side of a woman. Why? Because they're too polite, too hesitant, too desperate to please. They live their lives seeking approval, and approval never awakens desire. Women don't fantasize about men who orbit them like satellites. They fantasize about the man who walks his own path with unshakable certainty, the man who doesn't beg for attention, but commands it without words. That's why the nice guy so often gets forgotten. He gives her everything she says she wants, but never what she actually craves. And so she keeps the fantasy buried, untouched, unspoken, waiting for the one man bold enough to awaken it. Number 8. The forbidden truth. So here it is, the forbidden truth about women's deepest fantasy. She'll smile sweetly. She'll talk about romance. She'll tell you she wants kindness and flowers. But behind closed doors, she aches for something different. She aches for the thrill of surrender, for the pleasure of release, for the man who makes her forget she ever had to be in control. Most men will never see this side. They'll remain blind, too afraid to lead, too quick to fold, too desperate to please. But the man who understands this, who respects it, who embodies the strength to hold her without fear, he becomes unforgettable. He becomes the one she can't replace, the one she craves, even when he's gone. And the question is simple. Will you be that man, or will you remain another forgettable shadow in her story? So here's the truth she'll never confess. Every woman carries this one forbidden dream. She'll deny it if you ask. She'll hide it behind her smile. But it's there, burning in silence. The only question is whether you're man enough to awaken it. If this message hit you, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think women would ever admit this fantasy openly? Or will they keep it hidden forever? I want to hear your take. And if you're ready for more of these raw, unfiltered truths, the parts of female psychology most men are too afraid to face, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because what I just revealed is only the beginning. Stay grounded, stay silent, stay powerful. This is the Stoic Wolf.